Hey everybody, Todd Caponi, and we are back for part 4 of the mini Sales History Museum mini virtual tour. I want to take you through a few books today. It's basically this shelf. And the books range anywhere from 1891. That one's actually Wright's Business Methods. Really, really interesting book. There's 1894. There's a whole nother series here. But I also want to take you through a couple of books from the 1950s. Given our focus on telephone selling, that's when the rise really began. And I've got a couple of books here that are focused on that. But a couple of highlights here. Number one, this book right here is called Salesmanship, Theory and Practice. It's from Thomas Herbert Russell. It's a 1910 book. Two things on it that I think are fascinating. Number one is it's so dense when I bring it on airplanes. TSA always flags it in my carry-on. They want to go through it because apparently the density of a book like this is ripe for bad people carving out pieces of it so they can hide stuff. There's no hiding stuff in here, I promise you. I wouldn't touch this classic. I actually wrap it in plastic when I take it on trips with me. But number two thing is, this is the book that really sparked this idea that today we talk so much about buyers no more nowadays. And what would we need salespeople for? Buyers are going so much further in the sales process before they're engaging with salespeople. That's total crap. And I can prove it. Buyers no more nowadays. That is from 1910. The rise of mail order catalogs and advertising meant that what do we need salespeople for? Well, we have continuously proven over and over again that more information available to buyers has not made it easier on them. It's made it harder, which really points to the fact and the idea that true salesmanship, as Arthur Sheldon said, is the science of service. Grasp that thought firmly and never let go, and there will never be a demise to the sales profession. And oh, by the way, when we talk about mail order catalogs, this is a 1908 catalog from the Sears Roebuck Company. It is basically like Amazon in printed form. You can buy everything in here from horns and chains. You could buy modular homes, believe it or not. So this is the time when it started, toilet accessories, whatever you need. There's actually a department of human hair in here. I don't really understand what that's about. A couple other highlights here. This one, you've probably heard of. This is How to Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie. This is a 1937 print. The book came out first in 1936, so this is a pretty early print. It was flying off the shelves, so there's lots of prints. I wish I had an earlier one, but 1937, again, the famous, amazing How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I truly believe that it is. However, it has been said, there was a quote from the 1950s that talked about the idea that Dale Carnegie, really all he did was bring together ideas that had been known for thousands of years, and he made it famous. And the quote from the 1950s talks about the idea that, hey, we got to quit trying to look for the new ideas, and it's really about how we paint around existing ideas. Dale Carnegie was a master of that. And part of the reason I bring that up is this one right here. This is one of my pride and joys in my collection. This is Pushing to the Front, 1894, from Orison Swett Marden. Orison Swett Marden was one of the most prolific writers at the time. It is said that people named their children after him. There's actually a quote that said that people named their children after the titles of his books, which seems weird. But Pushing to the Front is an example of a book that is literally How to Win Friends and Influence People, but 30 plus years earlier than Dale Carnegie's version. This one, 1894. This is volume 1. I do have volume 2 as a part of my collection. There are other books in here, a bunch of them. Salesmanship from Ferris and Collins from 1924. Salesmanship Applied from 1926. They're amazing books. There's a whole nother set here. The last two that I want to take you through, though, is this one, Successful Telephone Selling. This is really from the beginning. You see I've tabbed it up because it's so interesting. This is really when telephone selling started to grasp momentum. And so this is a real foundational book from Merrill DeVoe in the 1950s, an amazing one. And then there was a guy, this book is from Schwartz. This is from the 1950s as well. There was a guy named Jack Schwartz who was a self-proclaimed America's greatest telephone salesman. This is some foundational stuff, but what's amazing is so much of what is taught today is taught in this 1956 book by Jack Schwartz about objection handling, preparation, all of the measures, the numbers. You see it on LinkedIn today, you would see it right here. So that is today's edition of the Mini Sales History Museum mini virtual tour. You can find the other episodes at youtube.com at @tcaponi. You can go on my website, toddcaponi.com, hit the videos. I'm posting them all there. There's still a lot more to go. Hope you're enjoying this if you're a nerd like me, and I appreciate you taking some time and listening in. All right? So until next time, thank you.